Howdy, gang. Sorry. Good to be with you all here. So I'm going to put this around my neck because I can hear alerts, but I don't want to wear this clunky thing. All right. I've got chat up here. I am streaming on YouTube. I'm trying to get this all sorted out here. So we're on YouTube and on Facebook. Let's go ahead and just jump in, and then I'll catch up a little bit here in what we have going on right now. And actually, let me, because I need to do some stuff here. So we do have some tornado warnings that are ongoing right now. I know this was pretty delayed for a lot of you. Okay, so let's kind of dive in. I'm going to flip over to a different source real quick. I'm trying to get myself situated here, so stand by. I'm a morning guy, so I was trying to get a little bit of a cat nap in because I knew this was going to be a long night. So we'll be in for it here, and we'll stick around as long as need be. I may have to end up ending this somewhat early. If I have to go into the station. So, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. All right. So thanks for checking in. And we'll guide you through all of this here. All right. So here's what we have right now. We do have a tornado warning for Putnam County. I know you had a rough night last night. You've got another one coming your way. And then I've got, pardon me, Clay County. And I do have a little bit of this rotation here that we're concerned with around just north of Brazil, around Carbon and Harmony. All right. So right there is what we're kind of looking at. All right. So and I know I've got some of these alerts. I'm going to try to work on that so we don't get as many. So stand by for that. All right. Thanks for everybody checking in. So we're going to kind of get situated here. Let's go ahead and I'm going to go back to this other radar here. So two warnings that I'm watching right now. And I'm going to flip over to velocity. One is obviously, and it looks like the rotation kind of diminished a little bit. And it looks like we just got a new warning, yep, for Vigo County for a radar indicated tornado. However, we've seen that there has been some pretty significant rotation in Illinois with this storm right here. This guy right here. All right. That's going into the town of Marshall. And then that's going to extend into Terre Haute. And then we've got this secondary warning for this storm here. That is in northern Clay and getting ready to go into Putnam County. So those are the two warnings that I have so far. We also have more storms back out toward Taylorsville and Shelbyville, Illinois. So, pardon me. So, I know it's been kind of late to get going. We did think that kind of my last update when I was at the station at 11 was that Central Indiana starts to kind of get in on the action around 8, 9, 10 o'clock. So it did play out a little bit, not exactly, but played out how we thought. The thing is, and I know a lot of people have asked about, did the rain from earlier hinder any tornadic activity? It's yes and no. It did limit the instability, but there is so much upper level support, and why this scenario that we've been talking about for the last few days was eye-catching, because we've got a low level jet that just has a lot of wind, and we've got a lot of turning with height. All right. And I don't want to dive too deep into the weeds, but you can overcome the lack of instability if you've got a lot of some other dynamics. And I think that's kind of the situation we're going to be in here for the next few hours. Okay. So right now, I'm not going to make a judgment call on if you guys are asking way down the line. Just know, if you live in Central Indiana, and we've been talking about this for the last few days, you run the risk of severe weather with, destructive winds and the potential for tornadoes. I wish we were good enough to be able to pinpoint it's exactly going to hit this town. We are not. All right. And so that's why I'm here, because when you get into a severe situation like this, it's about the nowcasting. And so, we try to give you at least enough warning that if it is at some point heading to your town, that we can give you a good jump on it, good 10, 15, 20, maybe 30-minute jump to get prepared. Okay. I wish that we could get 2, 3, 4 hours in advance to be able to yes, it's going to hit your town. But listen, if you're in Central Indiana, everybody kind of runs the risk for tornadoes. I do think the threat is heightened from, let's say, I-70 or around I-70 and points south. That trend has been kind of building down to the south throughout the day. All right. So, So that's kind of where we stand right now, all right? All right. So I'm going to go back over to the velocity scan here. Let's look inside and see what's up. Appreciate everybody jumping on here. There's a bunch of you here. So thank you. It means a lot that you guys are here. So I know there's a bunch of people. This was a kind of everybody was watching Illinois and Indiana. There's going to be a lot of streamers and stuff like that. So thank you for jumping on. I appreciate you guys. So right now, my concern is, down the line, let me see. I'm going to, we'll keep this radar on. I want to see if I can show you guys something real quick. I don't want to get too deep in the weeds and put you to sleep, but the bonus about having a live stream like this and not being on TV for just a 3-minute weather segment is that I can get a little nerdy without getting a little too nerdy. So I'm going to show you guys this. Let's see if I can jump in. Let's see if this will work. Yeah, that'll work. So I'm going to transition over to that. So, okay, what I'm looking at right now, since we're kind of watching stuff. So this is what I call is what's called the significant tornado parameter, STP. All right. And kind of the standard in forecasting for significant tornado development. Where we're at right now is the bullseye's kind of where we've got the tornado warning near Vigo County. That threat kind of bullseyes itself in southwestern Indiana, but really you could see a nose going all the way up into east central Indiana over the next hour or two. And then over the next 4 hours, this would be 4 hours from now, bullseyes over south central Indiana. But I mean, anything in those within those red lines is noteworthy. So basically, what I'm trying to convey is, even though the atmosphere kind of stabilized because of the afternoon and early evening convection, there's enough dynamics in the atmosphere that it will overcome that essentially, and it's getting into a more favorable environment for severe weather. So we go back to the radar. We're already kind of seeing this, tornado warned storm around Greencastle. And we're starting to see a little bit more circulation here. All right. So, two areas of concern right now. Southwestern Putnam. So, if I'm in Putnamville, I'm going to change something real quick. Stand by. So that's, the rotation's kind of ragged. It's not uber impressive as of right now, but listen, there's enough there that there's some cause for concern, and this is gonna fluctuate a little bit. I'm gonna make sure this is the latest radar data too. Well, see, this is what happens when you're trying out new stuff. Sometimes it doesn't work to how you want. Let me go back to, I'm going to go to this radar here because this seems to be doing okay. All right. So here we go. So this is the area that we're concerned with here. Putnamville needs to be in their safe spot. I know Putnam County, we already had, a confirmed tornado from last night. Now you're in for round number 2. We're rolling into possibly the metro area would be next in line here. So we'll see. And then we got this tornado warning here for Vigo. That's until 9:15. So those are the two warnings that we currently have right now. Okay. Thank you, Georgie. Thank you, Amy. Appreciate it. Hey, Randy. Thanks for checking in. And Muncie. Appreciate you, guys. Thanks, Bone. Appreciate you guys being on here. I'm going to open up chat, too. Probably should have pre-planned for this, but I was trying to get as much of a nap in as I could. Kind of want to turn that off. Guess that's not going to happen. All right. So I got chat up. So we're getting some reports in Putnam County now of a funnel cloud at US 40 and Manhattan Road. I know we're getting a lot of alerts coming in. Some of these, with that radar that I have open, they're not necessarily all tornado warnings, all right? So, and they're not all in Indiana. I think that's also the important thing. So, I'm actually going to close out of that for a second and then reopen it. This is one of those forecasts. I know a lot of you are saying, hey, where is it? Where is it? Like, I want to be completely wrong with this. I don't think anybody wants a really bad, high-end, severe weather situation. Now that radar image is not awesome. All right, I'm just going to have to stick with the web-based one for now, and that's fine. All right, so let's flip over here. Yeah, we're getting some pretty good rotation here around the Putnamville area. So listen, if you're in Putnamville, we need to be taking our precautions. And Terre Haute needs to be taking their precautions too. So next in line, basically this looks like it's kind of riding right up US 40. It's going to miss Greencastle just to the south. Close call. But I mean, I can zoom in pretty tight on where we're getting this rotation here. Again, we had a report from the EMA out in Putnam County of a funnel cloud at US 40 and Manhattan Road. I don't know if I can find that specifically. This is, I mean, we got a lot of county roads here. And my guess is with that came in several minutes ago, so that may have been out to the west and I missed it. Could have been close to like maybe the Harmony area. So Weather Service, what they're doing is, I mean, again, this isn't like a tight couplet. What you're looking for is, you know, this bright red and then bright green next to each other. So this is what this basically is showing is it's broad rotation. So what the Weather Service is going to do is they're going to go downstream here and extend the warning to probably clip northwestern Morgan. I would assume then it's probably going to go into much of Hendricks County. Here it comes. As I say this, we're going to get a new warning here coming out. Any minute it'll fire up here. And it could end up jumping into the maybe Marion County. No, they didn't extend it there. It did take the northern, so this is the new warning. But okay, so what they did was it's a severe thunderstorm warning, but they put a tornado possible tag because there is some rotation there. All right. So within that warning, you've got Stylesville, Coatesville, Eminence, Cloverdale. Although I think it's going to miss you to the north, Cloverdale, Monrovia, Mooresville, Plainfield is included. Okay. So then you start getting in, you know, you're getting deeper into the Indy Metro. These are moving kind of east, northeast, and maybe even just kind of more of an east movement to it. So again, there's your tornado possible tag right there. Okay. and this is just the info on it, it's moving at 50. And like these are going to start probably moving even a little bit more quickly over time. So they're cooking in terms of the speed, all right? We're keeping an eye on this storm in Terre Haute. Problem with Terre Haute is it's really far away from the radar. And so it's tough to gauge exactly, you know, what the truth is because it's kind of stuck in the middle between the Indy radar and the Lincoln, Illinois radar. And so you're not getting a lot of low-level confirmation on that, okay? So there's that. See if I can get some of these things turned off. I'm making a lot of noise on some of these. All right, so we are seeing a bit of a hook. Yeah, you're seeing that rotation in Terre Haute. Not in Terre Haute, my apologies. But this area right here has been kind of the cause for concern here. There is somewhat of a hook in there, like a notch. And so with this moving east, it may end up kind of clipping the south end of Terre Haute. It looks like it might be just kind of hugging along I-70, okay? The tornado warning that was initially issued for Clay and Putnam County has been allowed to expire, and so it's just shifted to this severe thunderstorm warning with possibility of a tornado. Again, the rotation there is pretty broad, right along US 40 between Putnamville and Stylesville, okay? I know a lot of you are asking, and they are trimming up the tornado watch a little bit. I'm going to check on that real quick. I just got an alert for that. Let's see. Tornado watch. Oop. What are we doing here? So, tornado watch has been canceled for Cass, White. I know it hasn't shown up yet. But it looks like kind of the northern edge. It's just Cass and White that was eliminated from that. And there it is. It just updated there. That's up around Monticello and Logansport, okay? Ironically, when we started things off this morning, I had mentioned Monticello and Logansport several times for the threat of the highest end threat for tornadoes. And as we've progressed through the day, that threat has shifted southward. I should also mention, and it's going to be kind of a side note, I think everybody obviously is on edge about tornadoes. And it sounds like we're getting new alerts. And that is a severe thunderstorm warning for Illinois for this guy right there. All right. You guys aren't seeing the same radar I am. It's for this new warning right here. Kevin, I wouldn't necessarily. Muncie's in the clear. You may be just far north enough, but it's a close call. Haley, not right at the moment. I mean, you've got a pretty good storm coming through right now, but yeah, I don't know, Madison, who would be posting Muncie's in the clear. Muncie continues to be in a tornado watch, so I'm not willing to go ahead and just throw that out there. There very well could be, but I think it's probably too early to make that call. So, all right, so Terre Haute. Again, tough to see exactly. Because it's so far away from the radar. But we definitely at least have some sort of kind of notch here. I'm going to move that there. All right. Okay. I'm going to go back to this guy here. Well, Indy's going to get hit probably with this severe thunderstorm, severe warned storm within the next 20, 30, maybe 40 minutes. Michael, I think Miami County is probably in the clear for the most part. You got kind of a storm up north right now, but it's well below severe limits. Just don't know if the warmest and the most unstable air is going to make it that far north. It just never really looked like it was going to happen once we got later and later into the day. Montgomery County, again, you're far enough north of the nasty stuff right now, but I think it's maybe too early to call, the completely in the clear. Franklin needs to be on alert. You've got this severe warned storm that's to the west. You've got the tornado warned storm that's in Vigo County. So not saying that everything holds together in the line, but Johnson County as a whole is in that zone that we need to be watching. We need to watchful eye over the next probably 2 to 3 hours. Okay. So we've got a new tornado warning now out in Illinois. And I only bring that up because these are storms that are going to continue to march east, right along and south of I-70. Just got a spotter reporting a rotating wall cloud in Vigo County. And again, we've got a notch here around Terre Haute. This is entering into Terre Haute. I mean, again, it's tough to tell. We're pretty far away from the radar. I don't have clear signs of any significant rotation. But it's shooting pretty high up. All right? Not seeing any signatures of debris. I have not mentioned anything about Fishers or Noblesville. And guys, I mean, I apologize. Unfortunately, that's not necessarily how, severe nowcasting kind of works. We have to kind of go take it the hour by hour. You guys are in the watch. You just need to be alert. Now, we said the window was going to kind of open after 6, and it's probably going to go till around 2 or maybe even 3 o'clock this morning. I know that's not ideal for people that have to work. I'm one of them because my alarm usually goes off around 1 a.m. So we're in it for the long haul. But I saw Fishers get thrown out there. I saw Noblesville. You guys are all under the watch. It's fair game. I do think the more south you go, the better the chances for stronger tornadoes. But everybody has a threat for damaging winds. I mean, you don't want to just throw out severe thunderstorm warnings because any severe thunderstorm warning is capable of producing over 70, maybe even 80 mile per hour wind gusts. And that can do a lot of damage. All right, so we're getting updates. Plainfield, you're kind of on the leading edge right now. The nasty stuff still isn't on you yet in Plainfield. You're kind of getting the leading edge. Well, there's the update. So you're kind of getting the leading edge of it here. There is some broad rotation still noted. Southwest of Stylesville. Is that an actual updated image or is this way behind? I may end up needing to just go permanently over here. Nope, it's updated. We're good. We're good. Very, very broad rotation here. Ironically, broad rotation near Broad Park. Little Point, that's I-70 here. That's US 40 here that goes through Stylesville. It's kind of splitting the difference. Spotter who went to Stylesville reports nothing in this time. So whatever this is, isn't much. And that's, hey, we'll take that. That's good news. Okay. So no need for immediate concern with this particular storm. So really my attention is on this guy right here, Terre Haute. And we might be getting something going on here. Rachel, I mean, it could, but the problem is now, we're past sunset. So you're not going to have sun to kind of add to this instability. So even if you get a little bit of clearing, that's not going to really do much for you. So, Lawrence County, nothing yet. Right now, everything's kind of north of you, but I think as things kind of progress this evening, we've got this storm over in Effingham, Illinois. We'll see how that kind of progresses. If it holds the line, it could be a problem, possibly. So we're hearing some thunder here outside the Bailey household. Taylor, Muncie's okay for now. You've got some garden variety thunderstorms. You guys are kind of on the northern edge of concern. I don't want to completely say you're good, but I'm more concerned for areas south and west of you currently. Kevin, possibly, yes. because I think you're going to see this potentially line out. I don't know if it'll be like a complete line, but you may have just kind of a structure of numerous supercells that are kind of almost looking like a line late tonight, and then that's going to start sagging down, and it may end up being like a deep overnight, maybe even an early Thursday morning threat for Kentucky. Airport, I mean, you've got obviously some heavy rain on you now. You're technically not in the warning for severe weather right now. That could get extended, though. We will see. I've not had any word from the National Weather Service. We've seen some kind of ragged, some very ragged rotation here. I mean, this is not super impressive. It is trying to rotate, but not, not something that I'm like, oh, wow. Now, we'll watch as this kind of moves to the north and east. This does have a tornado possible tag, but as of right now, it's a pretty broad rotation. Might be seeing some hints. I'm seeing some lightning up here. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on this. A lot of what we do when we're watching these kind of things, it's all about watching the next scan. A lot of times you'll get a scan and you'll get something that gets your attention, and so you wait and see if it either intensifies, holds, or goes away. There's a new scan. So what that tells me is I don't see the bright greens. There was a difference from that scan to the previous scan. Can I go back? Yeah. So like here, you had a little bit of green and red together. I mean, again, nothing crazy, but then the next scan here, the green and red, the brightness kind of goes away a little bit. There's still red and green together. That indicates that this thing is trying to rotate, but it is extremely broad. It's not the tight circulation that you'd want to see for a tornado. All right. I did get just a spotter report. I'm going to back out here. We've got a funnel cloud near Youngstown. So here was the report. This would be south of Terre Haute. Again, the radar data is not great this far out, unfortunately. But that is the only tornado warning we have. It's for Vigo and Clay, Western Clay. Okay. We've had numerous reports of a rotating wall cloud with that. Friendly reminder, I am on YouTube as well. For those of you that may not want to tie up your phone, and you got a smart TV, it's on my YouTube channel. So feel free. Probably should change the title. It is not March anymore. March 17th, 2026. There we go. All right. Okay. So we're just kind of watching right now. I often say if we're not getting a lot of reports coming in, that's a good sign. Okay. Hunter, is that heading towards Martinsville? I guess technically the one in Terre Haute is, but it's still pretty far away, so I'm not going to jump the gun. Watch it, but it's still a ways away from you. Yeah, Marcus Bailey on YouTube. It's, I think the YouTube address is like Marcus Bailey Weather, maybe? I don't use, I'm trying to get, it's just at Marcus Bailey. At sign Marcus Bailey. So, youtube.com at Marcus Bailey. And it is... We are live. Probably should have changed the graphic, but I didn't think that far ahead. Thanks, everybody, for stopping by. I appreciate you guys. We'll hang out. It may end up being a really late night. And like I said, I may end up having to... leave early if this thing hangs on for a while, and because I have to go to work still. But we did want to jump on here. We have several eyes on that funnel in southern Vigo. Nothing has touched down as of yet. It's per spotters. So we do have... And that warning for Vigo and Clay does expire in 9 minutes. My guess is, since we're getting some at least visual confirmation of some rotation there, that they'll probably extend this. That's my guess. So we're kind of getting, I mean, we're getting some bad data here still because we're far out from the radar, unfortunately. And there's just nothing we can really do about that. As this storm gets closer to the Indy radar, it'll get cleaned up a little bit. But I mean, I do see at least some signs here that this rotation may be on just north of State Road 46. Just northeast of Riley, I think. I mean, there's a new update, though. That's pretty ragged. If that is indeed the rotation that we're looking at. Again, it's tough because we are far away. Let's see if I can clean this up. Do I have a better... So, all right, I'm going to switch to a different radar. So this is my Gibson Ridge radar, and it is indicating, I mean, there's a marker there. They are getting some, again, you're kind of in the bad data zone there, but so it's actually south of State Road 46, south of Riley is where your rotation is. All right, so I'm getting at least a better view of that. It's between Riley and Pimento and moving east. So Quarry is in line with this. So it's this guy right here. Oh, okay. All right. We can go back to this. So there it is. This is, I mean, there's some pretty good rotation here. Right here. It's this guy. Okay. All right. So they have extended the tornado warning now, and it's going to include Clay and Owen County. Okay, so it's going to extend out to the east here. This should update pretty soon. Let's zoom out. Okay, there it is. No, it's not on that one. Let's go back to my radar Omega. So there it is. New warning now is extended out. So this now includes Center Point, Bowling Green, Patricksburg, Vandalia. It doesn't quite get to Spencer yet, but if you're watching from Spencer, just heads up. So this is your rotation. This is it right here. This is what we're concerned with. Okay? So if it holds this line, you know, you're going to be kind of hugging the, you know, Morgan County, maybe going into southern Johnson. We'll see. Again, that's a long way off. The storm is moving. Well, it should be moving about 50 miles per hour, I think. So. All right, again, we've got some pretty ragged rotation up here in Morgan County. We're watching it. But it's broad. I mean, this is really, really broad rotation, okay? Right now, it's just kind of gentle rain for a vast majority of the metro. I mean, we've got some pretty steady rain now downtown, south side of Indy, kind of intermittent around Johnson County, Greenwood area, west end of Greenwood, Center Grove area, Bargersville. That's not severe. And then you've got, you know, the severe warned storm here. Heavy rain right now, Monrovia, Hazelwood, Almond, Mooresville. Pretty heavy rain up at the airport. Plainfield. So I'm going to go ahead and show this. So this comes from INDOT. And this was around Farmersburg and Prairie Creek. You gonna let me show it? Nope. Well. See if I can find a way to do this here. But there is some pretty tight rotation with this guy here. So see if I can jump this on again. There we go. So that is the rotating wall cloud. I mean, you can just see the tight circulation on that bad boy. I mean, it is just, it's spinning. You can see it up here. And you can definitely see in that low level that it is spinning like a top. Okay? And that was the concern for today because there is a lot of spin in the atmosphere. I'm going to check and see if we've got any more pictures on that here. Right now, the lone game in town is that Vigo County and now Clay County storm. It's got some good rotation on it. Go back to velocity. Oh yeah, I mean that thing is spinning. I mean, it may not necessarily be on the ground. It's still light enough that there's chasers on this one. So all right, new tornado warning. And that is also going to be for Vigo County. It's for this storm that is now coming out of Illinois. Again, we don't have great data on it. But it's this one right here. So this is another one. It's going to be Clay, Green, Sullivan, Vigo. So this will kind of include the south end of Terre Haute. Farmersburg included in that. Goes down to Jasonville, Clay City. This main focal point of rotation we're watching right now is in Clay County. It is between I-70 and State Road 46. So Morgan County spotters are saying winds are getting up around 20 miles per hour, which is not bad. So we still have the severe thunderstorm warning there. I'm going to turn those alerts off for a little bit because they're not doing what I want and they're going off a little too much. So again, just kind of the broad look here. We've got 2 tornado warnings back into Illinois. You've got 2 tornado warnings in western Indiana. And all of these are moving east. Let me take this off. All right. I'm just looking through some images on social media and seeing if we've gotten anything. Problem is now we're getting to a point where we're losing the light of day, and so we probably won't have good visuals from here on out. And tough to spot some of these storms, unfortunately. That's how it goes when you get in these kind of evening and late night situations. All right. Well, so again, Vigo County, you're looking at, well, nope, I'm going to flip that back over to velocity. Again, you got a pretty tight couplet right here, just north of Bowling Green. We're in a pretty rural area right now. Looks like we're going over the Eel River. And that is Bowling Green, Poland Road. And this is in Eastern Clay County. Penny, tough to tell. Again, that's Edinburgh's way down in the future. So when you kind of get into the minute by minute, we just kind of focus on where we're headed next in line. So, if this holds together, yes, but that's a big if. So we'll see. We can. I know somebody asked earlier if they wanted to see what kind of the model output was. So this is our high resolution model output for the rest of the evening. So this is, I think it's a little bit, what time is this? 9:20 right now. It's a little too far north with this. That's still a little too far north. But still maybe ongoing through around 1 or 2 o'clock. Doesn't really clear central Indiana until maybe after 2 o'clock per this. But again, it's starting too far north. So take that with a grain of salt. I don't think that's really handling things very well. This is doing a little bit better. So that's at 10, 11 o'clock, midnight, and then 1 a.m. And this line just kind of continues to move down to the south there. So, all right. So we saw the severe thunderstorm warning for Morgan County. They've kind of trimmed it back a little bit. And there might be some pretty gusty winds between Brooklyn and Waverly. And that's going to be moving into northwestern Johnson County pretty soon. Close to the I-69 corridor. And then, again, we are focused on the broad rotation right now around the Bowling Green area. Thankfully, we're not seeing any, unique debris signatures there. There is a little bit of a bend, a notch, if you will. And that's been pretty consistent. And then we've got another one right here. Okay, so kind of 2 areas of rotation in Vigo County that we're watching. That one may be a little bit more significant. Again, that's real far from the radar. Just entered into Indiana, southwestern Vigo County. Okay. Somebody asked me earlier saying, why are you up? And the honest answer is, and I mentioned this to somebody earlier on Facebook, that we've had at the Bailey household a couple of close calls, one of which I was at work. That would have been the Whiteland tornado several years ago. And that was a little too close to home. And then it wasn't more than like, a month later, we literally had one that came right through our backyard. So even the weatherman gets anxiety, and I'm already up. And so my family's just kind of, I want them to be able to rest a little bit so I can keep an eye on things. And that means that I'm going to be running on fumes tomorrow. It won't be the first time. So but I might as well be jumping on here and talking to you guys and just kind of keeping an eye on things and just sitting there. All right, so it looks like, what are we doing here? We may have we extended the severe thunderstorm warning now for Johnson County. There is not a tornado possible tag on that. No. Moving 45. Might get up to 60-mile-per-hour winds with this. Okay. So that is the new warning now. And there's some pretty good winds with that. It looks like it's crossing over I-69 currently. So Greenwood, oh boy, let's see. Let me go back to this. So Waverly, that's a pretty good wind gust right now. Excuse me. And this is going over 144. All right. So that's the 144 and I-69 interchange. Right. So you got a gas station here. You've got Bluff Creek up here, the golf course. Looks like it's just south of there. It's literally at that interchange. Stand by here. I'm going to go back to, I want to see if we can get a camera up. And so I'm going to kind of focus on all three areas. So item number one, way out here, that's a severe thunderstorm warning. And so that is a wind signature right there. And it is entering into northwestern and western Johnson. So Greenwood, and it may end up, the worst of the wind may end up kind of missing Greenwood from what I can tell right now. But Bargersville for sure. It's crossed over Waverly, New Whiteland and Whiteland, Providence and Hopewell, Franklin, probably within the next 15 to 20 minutes, Trafalgar eventually. Okay, and then this rotation here. And this is starting to ramp up a little bit. Jordan, it's on you right now. Not seeing any weird signatures of debris. This has been like rotating a lot, but not on the ground. All right, but next in line, which is technically not in the warning would be northeastern Owen, and then that may end up including Morgan. We'll see if they do that or not. I want to add, I am included in this warning here. I'm hopeful that the strongest winds are going to be south, but power might cut out. So just be aware that that's something that may happen. That is obviously out of my control. Yeah, we're getting the winds really ramping up here. So this is around the State Road 144 and kind of closing in on the Whiteland Road area, right? So we're getting out by, let's see, get my bearings straight. That'd be out by Mallow Run, right? That we might be getting some. So it's kind of getting into that Smoky Row, Morgantown area, Whiteland Road. It's kind of the strongest of the wind speeds here. I'm going to go back to the reflectivity. Yeah, it's that leading edge right here. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is just like some weird anomaly or whatever, but I mean, it's definitely brighter here. So this is a signal that we've got some stronger winds here, okay, in Johnson County. And basically it extends, I mean, it goes pretty far south. Banta's kind of in that stronger wind field, and it goes all the way down to like State Road 44 essentially. That's kind of the big picture of it if you want to take a broader look at it. And then again, I'm watching that rotation here in Owen County. It's almost out of the warning, so we're going to see. Brandon, the consistent rain partially did. I don't think that's actually the full story. The warmer air, the warm front never made it this far north as we were anticipating yesterday. So some of the rain that went through today kind of caused that, but again, the warm front just kind of stalled out and didn't make it nearly as far north as we anticipated. And that's why. And that's what prevented the severe storms. Elwood, I mean, for now you're good. You know, you're on the northern edge. I'm not overly concerned for you guys up in Madison County. Could there be a rogue warning? Yes, but really the main threat right now is basically south of I-70. Flash flood warning is now being issued for Vigo and Clay. Not a big shock, considering you've had this guy just kind of camping out over the last hour or so. Like literally the entire time I've been live streaming, it's been like this. So can I show how much rain we've had? So just we can do storm total, right? Well, let me ID. So it's, I mean, you can't see it, but it's IDing basically 3.5 inches of rainfall. Storm total. I don't know if that dates back to like, I'm trying to do 1 hour here. Let's see if it'll load up for me. I don't think it will. That's a bummer. So I can't do that. But anyway, I mean, we've had, you know, guesstimation probably, you know, at least a couple of inches of rainfall in Vigo and Clay, and still raining pretty hard. So Rotation on both tornado warning storms looked less organized overall. We're closely watching south of Indy going into Bargersville, which is basically what we were doing. There's nothing really tight here. That's potentially some gusty winds. So those of you that live in Johnson County, Bargersville, I just saw somebody say, hey, Bargersville area, let me know how the winds were, because you're kind of right in an area where it might be getting a little gusty. All right, so those are our areas of rotation. Got 24 minutes left on, ironically, I'm not sure what we're doing here. They said, I mean, the rotation's pretty ragged. Wind and rain. All right, so I've seen a few of you say Saline City. I mean, there's definitely rotation there. I have not seen anything from spotters about that, so, yeah, and that's right along State Road 46. Let's put the, get off there. Go away. Well, I need to back out now. Get out of there. So I'm not seeing a clear debris signature. Definitely rotation, but I would call that pretty broad. There's nothing really tight there. All right, so now what we have done is they have extended. So that original tornado warning for this guy right here, all right, this very broad area of rotation, is being severe thunderstorm warned now, okay? Not putting Columbus in the clear. All right. Dana said windy and Waverly. Which, I mean, that's what we were thinking. I think you've got a pretty good line. So Franklin, we're kind of getting over toward the Hopewell area. And so that's off of State Road 144. And then you're going to be kind of creeping in. Here we go. Okay, new tornado warning. And it's for this one right here. This is in Johnson County. Okay. It does include on the north end New Whiteland. Greenwood's not included. So if we start hearing sirens going off here, Hopewell, Franklin is included in this. Okay. And I hear the sirens going off right now. So, the tornado warning is for Bargersville. It is for Hopewell. It's for Franklin. So if you're in Franklin, you need to be taking your safety precautions, okay? Again, it's dark. We're not going to have eyes on this now. So Kim, I know you're in Franklin. Sirens are going off right now in Johnson County. I hear them in Greenwood. Greenwood is not in the warning right now. Okay? Stand by. I'm trying to do two things here at once. And so there is a little bit of a eddy, I would say, here that we might be concerned with. There's definitely like a notch. Definitely a notch here. Can I flip this over? So here's what, okay, so this kind of gives you a little bit of a better view of the interior rotation. It's not crazy strong, but hey, Franklin, you need to be in your safe spot, all right? If you're along State Road 44, you need to be in your safe spot. That means lowest level of your house. Basement preferable if you don't have a basement. Lowest level, and then put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Okay? So there's definitely like a little notch there. I'm just going to share this to my social media for those that are not watching. So bear with me that I am keeping that radar image there. And we'll guide you through this here. That's going to be our focal point right now. Johnson County ramped up to the point determined needed a warning. They are basically saying it's struggling to get over the hump, but we are in an environment that you want to make sure you're taking the precaution because it may not take much for it to get over the hump, okay? Let's hope it does not. That's the new scan. Again, it's basically in the west end of Franklin right now, okay? Make sure I put a timestamp on this guy here. Johnson County includes the city, of Franklin. So Franklin, you guys need to be in your safe spot. Again, it's a pretty ragged rotation, but I don't want to throw caution to the wind here because you never know when these things can ramp right back up. And in the environment we have, I'd just rather you guys take precautions now, and then if you're mad about having to go downstairs for 10 to 15 minutes, then we can cross that bridge when we get there. All right. All right, so let me go back to see what you guys are saying here. So if you guys are watching, okay, so I mean, we still got this broad rotation here. I mean, there's, all right, it's this. This is what I'm looking at. I hate the blue. Let's do that. Let's try again. Nope. I like the yellow, though. There we go. So that's it. That's what we're watching. It's not, you know, it's very broad. And Weather Service said it perfectly, that we're seeing a lot of these storms showing some signs that they want to get going and they just cannot, they can't burst through. So, which, listen, I'm not going to complain. No one would be more happy than if I walk into work and everybody starts saying, nice job about the severe weather last night, and gives me a hard time about it, because no one wants it. It's already been kind of a busy couple of weeks anyway, so I'd be totally fine with it. So if it decides to just stay that way, that's fine by me. Pretty nasty wind. I don't want to leave you guys in Franklin. I'm going to come right back, but I got some signs of some really strong winds right here. Is that? Yeah, I mean, like, there could be some pretty good winds near the Gosport area. All right, so just be aware of that. All right, Franklin, looks like it's kind of, you've got some pretty good winds that are coming your way. Yeah, I think those of you that are commenting like way up north, I think you're going to be okay. I hate just saying, if you guys are technically still in the watch, I hate being like, you're good, go to bed. But really, a lot of the action has basically been along I-70, okay? And that's just basically how it's been playing out tonight. All right, they're trimming that warning back a little bit. So Bargersville's out of it. Obviously, the threat is past you guys. Franklin, you should be in some pretty good wind right now. Again, very broad rotation right over, the southwest side of Franklin. So, getting ready to kind of pass over, well, I mean, it's basically right over the Johnson County Fairgrounds and Johnson Memorial. Franklin College is going to be next in line. It's going to basically ride along State Road 44. So it'll go out toward the country club. I'm watching this guy here. They're showing some signs of maybe a little bit of rotation trying to get going near the Gosport area. It's not there yet. All right, thanks, Georgie. I mean, from all indications, it looks more like, really the strongest winds by this radar image shows that that's a brighter red, basically through the city, downtown and south. So you're in it right now, the strongest of the wind. Again, some of you might be just tuning in. Okay, new tornado warning now. Monroe, Morgan, and Owen. Monroe, Morgan, and Owen. And that is for this guy right here. This one really kind of got wound up here. So let's go back to... Yeah, that one kind of got going. This is over just north of Gosport. You guys should be in your safe spot if you're in the Gosport area. Whitaker should be also in your safe spot. Philip, the MCS, not necessarily. The warm front did not move north enough to bring the severe weather threat to you guys. The MCS was always kind of part of the plan. There's enough of a wind profile to overcome that. We're seeing that. I mean, we got just as much rain down here as you guys did up there. We're still getting tornadoes. The difference is the warm front just didn't get far enough north as we were initially thinking. Danielle, thank you. Extreme wind, heavy rain in Franklin. And we can confirm that. Some pretty good signs now that's moving kind of east of town, maybe a little bit. Looks like it's still pretty gusty winds around Franklin College. Starting to get a little bit better, maybe up north, up toward Legends, and then the north end of Franklin. But definitely for this storm, that is the strongest part of it, where they saw the severe thunderstorm warning, but the tornado warning. All right, so we've got, all right, bear with me here. Okay, we may have a debris signature here in, so let me back out. What am I looking at? This is in northwestern Monroe County. All right, so what this is right here, this guy right here, is what we call a TDS, or a tornado debris signature. So this radar product that I'm looking at actually looks at the different sizes of objects that the radar can detect. And in most cases, it's rain, right? And so if it's all uniform, it's all the same, it ends up being kind of the same color, like what you're basically seeing in this, this lavender or purple, or whatever you want to call it. But then you get these lower values here, which is saying, the radar is saying, this is different than all of this, all right? And so if you tie it together with this, which this is rotation, right? And I mean, you can even look at the normal radar. Yeah, we're definitely, yeah. So this is, you're getting the inflow here, and everything's wrapping around, and that may be a debris ball right there. So that is likely debris around Mount Tabor in northwestern Monroe County. Okay? So that is definitely a tornado signature. No doubt about it. Right here. And so if this holds the line, it's going to be riding basically the Morgan-Monroe County line. It's going to be riding the... Can I take a quick snapshot? No, I didn't want to do that. We'll just do this on a different computer. So now our focus is, yeah, this is not good. This is a real wound up storm between Gosport and Steinsville, which you guys are in the clear there, but I mean, definitely a tornado debris signature on this guy here. Sorry, I'm updating socials real quick. Debris ball. So the Weather Service is seeing it too. And that's this. You see that higher reflectivity right where the little hand is? That's debris being lofted in the air. Okay. Sorry, I know there's not everybody's watching the live stream, so I'm just trying to push out messages when I can. But that is definitely a tornado in progress. Okay. Significant tornado is what they're calling it. We do have spotters on it. Again, we're running into problems of this isn't going to be good chasing country for one. And that's, I mean, that is a significant debris signature. Significant. All right, we do have the extension. I don't want to forget about you guys. Sorry. I'm going to bounce back and forth. So they have extended the tornado warning into Shelby County. This is mainly a wind threat, all right? So I don't want to feel like I'm forgetting you guys. I know that you guys are saying, hey, it's... Danielle, no confirmation of tornado. I would assume no in Franklin. I think there was some pretty broad rotation, but there was enough concern there to warrant the tornado warning, and that's the case now. We got some pretty gusty winds, but there is no real strong signatures of, you know, any tight rotation there. So my concern is this guy right here. There is just a no doubt debris signature here. So we are getting ready to cross over I-69. Do we have a camera down there? I don't think we go that far south on the NDOT camera. No, it doesn't go past Martinsville. Pretty sure. Traffic-wise. Pretty sure we don't have cameras south of Martinsville. We do not. Bummer. All right. Okay. So, debris ball right here. So your tornado's in this right here. I believe that's pronounced, I'm sorry if I missed it. I've never lived in Indiana my whole life. Hindustan? Not 100% sure. But we have extended the tornado warning now. And now this is now a PDS tornado warning for southern Johnson. And we'll see if the tornado sirens go off again. I'm in the northern part of the county. It is literally the southern sliver of the county. Nineveh is included. Princess Lakes too. Morgantown, you're right on the line. But this is an observed tornado. All right, this is a confirmed. We do have the sirens going off right now. Okay. So Johnson County is sounding their sirens basically all over the county. Okay. So I'm probably going to repeat myself a lot because I think a lot of people are probably going to be jumping on. Because of... Okay, so real quick, before I get going, the tornado warning for Shelby County and Johnson County has expired. Okay? But we are getting sirens going off in Johnson County. Why? They're sounding them all over the county. But for this particular instance, it's actually only a very, very southern sliver of Johnson County why the sirens are going off. Okay? But this is a PDS tornado warning. This was what we were worried about. Okay? So Franklin, I got a lot of you guys coming in on Franklin. Franklin, you are not included in this tornado warning. All right? Greenwood, Whiteland, Bargersville, you are not included in this. Okay? I want to stress that. Okay? Flat Rock. So like Edinburgh is included, okay? Flat Rock is not, but technically you're in line. I don't know why they technically are sounding that. But we've got a very, very dangerous situation here. Hindustan, we're getting into the Morgan Monroe State Forest here. So, you know, maybe not as heavily populated areas here. I sure hope we don't have a lot of people camping, but I am concerned now just seeing this. All right, so I know this adds some confusion. So again, those of you that are jumping on, if you're in Johnson County right now, the only part of the county that is under a warning is the very, very, very southern sliver. Okay? But this is a significant threat, gang. I mean, this is a this is going to be a large, violent tornado. We're waiting on some damage reports coming in from Morgan County. Brown County next in line. We are running over kind of a state park, state forest, I should say. But we do have some campgrounds here. We've got Mason Ridge. We've got Oak Ridge. We've got Scout Ridge camping area. That is concerning, I sure hope. So this is Forest Road. I mean, I sure hope that there's not people that are out there or they knew about this way ahead of schedule. Man, if you know somebody out there right now, they got to go. I would assume there's hopefully some shelters there. I'm not super familiar with all of these camp areas, but I know we're getting kind of in more sparsely populated areas when you're getting into, you know, northeastern Monroe and into northwestern Brown County, which that's good. But obviously we are getting some damage here. All right, so that is that's my biggest concern right now. Oh boy. So we're getting into the forest and we're like closing in on the camping area. And I mean, this is a tremendous debris ball. Big time. Big time, big time. Oh boy, let me go to this. Holy moly. So again, I mean this is a monster. Big, 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 big tornado. Already crossed over 37. So listen, if you're anywhere, and I know this is a fairly sparsely populated kind of area on the county line, but if you are anywhere along the county line of Morgan and Monroe or Morgan and Brown, you need to be downstairs, center part of your house, basement if you got it. Okay? Morgantown, do it. Like, it's too close. It is too close if you're in Morgantown. Man, been a while since I've seen a signature like that. Man. Okay. So here we go. Man, this is just, this is, you don't like seeing this. This is what we were worried about, though. This is absolutely what we were worried about. Massive, massive TDS. And it's going right over those campsites. Boy. So we don't have traffic cameras, but it does appear that yeah. So we got big slowdowns right now on I-69. I should mention too, we do have a new tornado warning for Sullivan County. So that's going to include green. Somebody asked about Bedford earlier. That's one that you want to pay attention to. Let me go back to my other. Sorry about that. Nope. Well, doggone it. I want to see. Let me see if I can pull up. Hang tight, real quick. Traffic-wise. Just to show you, there's obviously been debris probably scattered over I-69. Can I turn those off? That is super distracting. Yes. Okay. So let me... Okay. Okay. So this is the NDOT. So this is I-69. And I mean, it is right here. This is where the tornado passed, right? Where my mouse is going. I mean, obviously, there's something that happened there. We got massive slowdowns now. Fortunately, I don't have any traffic cameras. We don't have any NDOT trucks there for now. But there is something that happened, obviously, there. I mean, who knows? It could be debris scattered on the road or whatever. But obviously something that was where the tornado tracked over. So yeah, anyway, we'll watch. We're getting reports of emergency vehicles on 69 right now. This is interesting. I don't know if this is just weird, like some anomalous thing, or is this actually like debris getting lofted in the air into Morgan County? I'm not sure. I do know that we've got pretty strong southerly winds. So if indeed there was some, I mean, there is damage. I mean, it's not if, it is true. We can see it on radar. Are the winds strong enough then, or is it taking it north? Is there anybody in Martinsville, like East End, that is seeing anything crazy? Like anybody down Morgantown Road, either that or Old Morgantown Road. I mean, I'm seeing anything, like any part of the eastern part of the county. Just curious if like you're seeing stuff that you would consider like debris. The tornado threat is not by you, and I want to stress that. The tornado threat is 100% here. Mahalsville, okay? That's an area I'm worried about. But there looks to be like maybe some debris is getting spewed north. I mean, you've got like a donut. I mean, this thing is so wrapped up right now. Oh, boy. That's just like pit in the stomach. Like, that's terrible. If that's indeed debris here, like, man. Mm, 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 mm. It's just awful. Now, I mean, if there's anything that gives me some sort of hope, is that it is going over like forest area, parks, like that. These aren't heavily populated areas, and so a lot of this debris may be trees. I mean, that's sad, but you can plant more trees. You can't plant more life. But that's I don't think I've ever seen that sort of signature. Not in the area that I've been covering anyway. Okay. So we're getting ready to see this now. I don't. There's still. Yeah, I mean, this is still on the ground, no doubt. So Fruitdale, again, doesn't look like it's a heavily. I mean, but this looks residential. We're getting into some residential areas. Cornelius and Fruitdale. I need you to be in your safe spot now. I mean, some of this debris now, guys, is going into Johnson County. Like, if you live in the west end of Johnson County, like northwest of Trafalgar, I mean, it's still Bargersville. It's almost on you. You might get some of this in Franklin. I mean, this is debris that's getting picked up. All right, we got a new severe thunderstorm warning. And that is for this line of storms out ahead of it. It's on the northern edge of the tornado warning storm, essentially. All right. Let me get my chat back open. I need to save this image because this is something like I've never seen. Not in covering an area for myself. Go back to velocity. We still got... All right, we're starting to extend the tornado watch now for some of the eastern counties. So just heads up there. I am watching a little bit of rotation just north of Bloomington. So just heads up. There's nothing crazy yet, but just heads up. Again, my main concern right now is this guy. Morgantown, please be in your safe spot right now. So if there's any good news, the debris ball is not as defined. So does that mean that we are... This may have lifted a little bit. I mean, there's still some very strong... Okay, we got a new tornado warning. Bartholomew Brown, Jackson, Monroe. Bartholomew Brown. So this is going to be an... Bartholomew Brown. Where are they? Oh, okay, here we go. So it is for this rotation I just said that we were going to be watching, right? So... I know a lot of you are talking in... So just mention this one north of Bloomington. So, all right, Bloomington, sirens are going off right now. This is a radar indicated tornado. Okay, so unlike the one we were just watching in the Morgantown area, this one is radar indicated, but it does have some spin to it, okay? In Hope, you need to be watching. All right, you aren't in a warning yet, but you need to watch the one that's already caused a lot of issues. All right, it's a little ways off for you, but man, who's in Bargersville right now? If you're in Bargersville, take a look outside. If you're in Trafalgar, are you seeing anything other than rain falling? I'd like to know. I mean, man, that, just the signatures are showing. I mean, there's still like some debris lofted in the air. It's just wild. I'm gonna back this up. That's just unreal. And it's spread. So yeah, let me know. Doggone it. There you go. I'll save that for later. Okay. Okay. So we don't have a ton of cameras in Blooming. I know we do have some in-dot cameras down there. We have one in-dot camera. It's not great. The only other one I know of, let's see, in-dot, no. I got an idea. That's not what I wanted. There we go. All right. It's not live. Trying to get a Bloomington camera here. So stand by. Oops. All right, so this is Bloomington. So it's pouring right now on IU's campus, and you can definitely see the winds have picked up. So that is with this storm here. I'm going to scoot down. All right, so obviously IU is on the north end of town. Rotation's still pretty broad, if anything. So the tornado warning for Bloomington is moving south and east. Okay. Did we? Oh, okay. We're back live. There we go. Brandon, just because you put tornado in Connorsville in all capital letters does not mean that there's a tornado in Connorsville. So thankfully, this storm that produced a large tornado in Monroe County has now really broadened out. Okay, so as violent as that thing was, it's really just now kind of turned into a wind issue. Should also know we have this tornado warning now for Sullivan and Greene, so it's just now entering the county. We'll see how that kind of holds together. But now my main concern is Brandon, there is zero tornado warning in Connorsville. You may be confusing that with a watch, but there is absolutely no tornado warning in Connorsville. Michael, Shelbyville's okay right now. You've had some bouts of nasty storms. It looks like the threat may be shifting a little bit south. That's where like the best rotation is right now. But here's the other problem is, I mean, like we're dealing with storm after storm after storm that just kind of dates back all the way back in Illinois. Now, hopefully this line's going to keep progressing southward eventually. Richmond is probably going to be okay, Brandon. All right. So again, we've got tornado warnings in effect. Pretty broad rotation here. Bloomington has got rotation over you right now. But it's really broad. I mean, well, and technically, as I say that, Bloomington has been trimmed out now. So you are in the clear in Bloomington. You think you can give me winning lotto numbers? Well, if I had that kind of information, would I be up at 10:30 at night and having to get ready to go to work in like 3.5 hours? No, 2.5 hours. Okay, so those are the two main areas that I'm watching. I am watching what's going on in Sullivan County. The rotation there would be south of Sullivan. I know there's a lot of anxious people in Sullivan. We're not canceling the back end of the warnings due to other active warnings in the counties. Okay. So that's why they're not canceling these warnings yet. Because there's still ongoing warnings in Monroe, even though these are not connected, okay? And while I have a second, I really appreciate you guys being here. It means a lot. I think I mentioned it earlier. Part of me, like, I jump on here because we've had a couple of close calls at the Bailey household. And so I got 4 kids. I got a wife. And I'm not going to sleep. I'm the morning guy, so I don't get called in to help out, in the evening. Thankfully, we were blessed with a big weather team. And so we've got plenty of bodies that are at the station right now that are very capable. So I do this on my own accord, partially because I was going to be up anyway, making sure that the family's safe, and then jumping on here, making sure you guys know everything. So it'll be a long day tomorrow, but the one thing that gives me a little bit of solace is that it's going to be quiet Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So that's good news. That is excellent news. All right, so what we're doing now is, so we saw the tornado warning in place, but now they're it looks like what they're going to do here is they're going to extend that to a severe thunderstorm warning. All right, so the tornado warning is still there, but then severe thunderstorm warning in place. Robert, no, that is incorrect. First of all, nobody, even the best meteorologists, don't say there is currently a rated tornado. Ratings don't come out until after a tornado has already happened. So literally nobody says there's a EF whatever happening right now. All right, so what do we got here? So Camp Atterbury's probably got some pretty strong winds right now. Edinburgh, you're going to be jumping in on maybe some gusty winds. Getting ready to cross over I-65 here soon. Well, Robert, your internet is spectacular if you're in the middle of an EF2. Okay, so from the Weather Service, since we're doing this here, let me turn that off. Let's go back to, okay, so, did they close the road? Oh, no, it didn't. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go back to the NDOT. Since it's not quiet weather, but so this is the NDOT camera. This is I-69. This is where we saw that massive debris signature from that tornado. Was that 20 minutes ago? So I-69 is closed at, there's no exit really that close. I'm trying to think about it because I literally just drove down there this past weekend for baseball to Bloomington North. So, I mean, it's pretty, there's no real exits close by, I don't think. All right, so it'd be just north of Oliver Winery. It looks like is where it kind of gets shut down. So what the Weather Service is telling us, the stop traffic in northern Monroe was about 600 feet long. Is a rough estimate of the damage width in the area. This has since grown, but most likely due to most vehicles stopping due to the stop traffic. And again, now they're marking it as closed. And it says closed in both directions. So north and southbound lanes. So just FYI on that. Since it's dark and since that is a very what's the word I'm looking for? Tree populated area. We're probably we're not going to know the extent of the damage until at some point, after daybreak tomorrow, honestly. Couplet crossing into Brown County. Let me flip it over to... Yeah, there's a little notch in there. We'll see. A lot outside of the one massive tornado that we had. I don't necessarily... I mean, a lot of these rotating storms they just really had a tough time getting over the hump. Robert, I'm glad you're taking shelter, but there is not a current tornado warning for Columbus, nor is there any way that there would be a rating. And I can tell you right now that Weather Channel would not say that there is an EF2 on the ground. As someone that in his 45 years of life has spent probably 42 or 43 of those years watching the Weather Channel quite frequently. All right, so, okay. So there's, man, so this is just fascinating to me. And we may not know until tomorrow, but, I mean, look at this. Let's just back this up. I want you guys to watch this. this area over Shelbyville and where it stems from. I'm going to keep going. Oh, I can't go back more. Can I go? Let me extend this. Please let me go back more. It may take a while for it to load. Okay, so look at this. Just this blob here. Look where it stems from. I mean, there's your debris ball, right? When you guys have been with me this whole time, that was the tornado that we saw. I mean, that's the beginning stages. There's the debris. And then look what happens here. It crosses over 69. It goes over the Morgan Monroe State Forest. And then look at this debris just scattering. And like, if this is true, like you guys might be getting some of this debris from a tornado in Brown County, maybe as far north as Hancock. Like, I'm going to need those of you guys that live in Shelby and Hancock. Like, I'd love some ground truth. Like, is it like, what is it? I mean, that's something. It's picking up something, some sort of debris. I mean, that's obviously a very woodsy area, but it's wild. Really, really crazy. I mean, the only time I can recall that something like that happened, at least for storms that I was covering, I wasn't in Indiana. I know it impacted Indiana, but I was in Illinois. The November 17th tornado outbreak in 2013. The tornado that hit Washington, Illinois, there was debris that was found in the southern suburbs of Chicago. And so Washington, if you're not familiar, is just outside of Peoria. And so it's a good 100 some miles away, at least, to the north and east. So that was pretty significant. But it showed how much energy there was. And so today had a lot of similar characteristics. Obviously not the same type of day. That day was significant in numerous ways, both in Illinois and Indiana. But there was a lot of upper level dynamics that are similar in some ways to what we have now, that once you get things that are aloft, it's going to go. And like, you can see that. If that is indeed debris, I mean, I'll flip that back over. If that's debris that's going all the way through Shelby County. I mean, it's going into Morristown, potentially. I mean, that's a long way. That's crazy. So, yeah. Okay. So we still have these 2 tornado warnings. Obviously, I mean, there is some. So we're going through the Brown County State Park now. Nashville, you're in the clear, even though you're technically in the warning. We do have a children's camp that is in that warning, though. Happy Hollow. I don't know if that's up and running now. And again, you got some broad rotation up here. I mean, we're really, oh boy, I'll tell you what, I think we're trying to get this one going here. Just south of the south end of Brown County State Park. Yeah, this one's trying to ramp up here a little bit. We'll see. Oh boy, yeah, we're getting like oh, knock it off. Get out of there. So we're getting, again, you're getting a little bit of a notch here. Okay. So this one's trying to get going here. Well, I mean, I can tell you this, Jennifer, the area that I'm worried about is to the south. It's not far to the south, but it's to the south. It's close. Georgie, it was, yeah, Hindustan, right? There was another one. It wasn't just that. Yeah, maybe that was it. All right, so we are now extending the tornado warning. Yeah, that was it. It was Hindustan. All right, so we're extending that tornado warning and now includes southern Bartholomew. So Columbus, you're not in it. It's just south of you. Ooh, boy, here we go. Starting to see some signatures of a debris. Maybe. I don't see a TDS yet, but we're definitely getting this. This thing's getting wound up here for sure. Oh, yeah, this is going. This is going. Let me flip back over to this here. So we definitely have a signature. Thankfully, we're not getting any what we call a TDS. So this just crossed over 135 in the south end of Brown. But obviously, you are getting some very tight coupling. This thing's getting wound up tight. Really, really wound up. So let me go back to this because this has a lot more points of interest here. So here's 135. All right, Stonehead, Pikes Peak, New Bellsville. This is moving this way, okay? But your tornado is essentially right there. Elizabethtown needs to keep an eye on it. Okay? Okay. So this is just going to pass south of Happy Hollow Children's Camp. About 4 miles south of it. Yeah, I mean they absolutely need to be in storm shelters. Okay, that's a new update. Still pretty tight couplet there. Starting to see some debris signatures. I mean, that's possibly kind of the signs of a TDS. This might be on the ground. Yeah, that's not a good sign right there. So we're just east of Christiansburg. We're north of Beck's Grove. I mean, you're in windy roads here of Brown County. So here's the deal. Beck's Grove, Mount Healthy, Ogleville, all need to be in their safe spots right now. Okay, we are extending. And we're getting some debris signatures there. Okay, new tornado warning now for Hope. This is pretty broad rotation. So the very, very tip top of Columbus is included, but I mean, if there was a brief amount of rotation, it's cleared you. So Columbus, you're not in this. Okay. Hope, you are go ahead and take shelter because of just the way these things have been ramping up so quickly. You'll need to do that. Okay, new radar update there for this tight couplet. Again, we're getting maybe some signatures there. Yeah, this is getting real wound up here. Yeah, Hope needs to be in their shelter. It's a pretty broad area of rotation, but, again, the way these things have started to evolve as of late, like, we don't want to, like, let's not take some chances here, okay? Okay. So Hope, I mean, again, we're not seeing really anything too crazy or significant. This is the one it's got my eye right now. Maybe not as well defined as a hook, but that, I mean, it's still we're still spinning here. It's getting ready to enter into southwestern Bartholomew. So Mount Healthy, Waymansville, Ogleville all need to be in their safe spot right now. You're not in the clear yet, Stacy. You're kind of on the south end of this tornado warning, but it's broad. I mean, it's broad rotation. And in fact, the Weather Service is just going to now move that to a severe thunderstorm warning to include essentially all of Decatur County. Well, not all, most. And Greensburg included in that. Okay. Okay. Let's see if we got something here. So, Monroe County damage report. Near Monroe Morgan County line. So, this is where that tornado was, where we had the debris ball. Large damage, healthy trees. 24 plus inch diameters down. Several trees on vehicles and several homes with extensive siding and roof damage. County EMS is on scene attempting to clear blocked road with chainsaws. County EMA alerted. All right. I might be at a point that if we can kind of settle these two guys down here, we might be able to call it a night. I'll stick with these. There's still some pretty good rotation. By the way, all clear at the Happy Hollow Children's Camp. Still raining there, but no threat for anything crazy. So basically what we have now is just a broad area of rotation. This tornado warning is done, basically. I mean, there's nothing there. Maybe this little couplet there near Hartsville. And then this one near south of Oglesville. That's it. Columbus has been kind of split. Now you got a severe thunderstorm warning, but this might be trying to cycle back here a little bit. What was that last scan I just saw? Yeah, this guy right there is trying to maybe cycle back just a bit. And as I say that, and I say, hey, we're quieting down, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning out for Vigo. And they just keep coming. One after another, after another, after another. Hey, thanks, Darla. Appreciate you. Thank you, Joyce. I wouldn't say Sullivan's in the clear because there's still storms that are going on in Illinois. It may be another couple more hours before we can do that. Robert, I have no idea what you're talking about, man. As of right now, Tiffany, it does not appear that they will. I wouldn't rule out maybe some stronger winds. I mean, we're still in an environment that anything even that far north could produce some pretty good wind gusts, but as of right now, we're okay. Everything's kind of south of I-70s where the Michaela, where are you? Milroy, I mean, you're okay for now. I don't know if we're completely out of the woods. If you live south of I-70, I can't completely say we're all good until probably like 2 or 3. I hate saying that because I know a lot of you have to work, and but I can't confidently say that until this whole line gets south. Robert, technically Columbus is not in a tornado warning. There's one northeast of you, but it's about ready to expire. And then there's one well to your south. So Columbus is not in a tornado warning. Bartholomew County is, Columbus is not. So this thing has been trying to cycle a little bit. I mean, we've seen some instances where we've seen a little tight couplet and then it's very broad. So this is south of Columbus near Jonesville. It's just crossed over I-65. It's going to be heading into Jennings County soon. So, Carl, there could be, I mean, you guys have a tornado watch. I've been basically saying anything south of I-70 is fair game. You haven't had much yet. That's not to say that you won't. I think there's still some possibilities that we could. But so far, you're fine. We'll see. We'll see if these storms. I guess what's waiting you down the line is it's these guys right here. You are an environment. You're close. Morgan County. Do we think there's a possibility of Paragon getting another tornado? I wouldn't rule it out. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning in Terre Haute. There's still plenty of spin. Just because there was pretty nasty storms that rolled through, that's not going to really do anything to deter the strength and how quickly these things can spin. So right now we just have this lone tornado warning. It's got 10 more minutes. And then we'll kind of see where we stand. I certainly don't think, let's see. Public sources, Monroe County, tree damage resulting in power failures reported in Ellettsville, Bloomington, and Woodview Hills. That's in Monroe County. So, Tiffany, I can't necessarily say we're completely in the clear. Not until this entire line sags south, which should happen in the next couple of hours. Okay? Thank you, Marilyn. Thank you, Danielle. It'll be, like I said, at least it'll be a quiet weather day tomorrow. So, So we're getting some reports of, let's see, it's at 41 and Harlan Road. I don't know where Harlan Road is. I'm assuming that's somewhere probably in, but somebody said there's reports of power flashes. Robert, you're in the tornado watch. You are not in the tornado warning. There is a difference. Watch means that you could get a tornado, and then a warning means a tornado is happening. You are in the watch, but you are not in the warning. Does that make sense? Weather spotter reports 15-inch diameter tree and shingle damage in downtown Gosport. Columbus is, I mean, there's no rotating storms. There's nothing severe currently. I can't, in good conscience, completely clear Columbus until this entire line gets south, and it may be another couple of hours. Now, we may end up going without any more warnings for the rest of the night, but all right, so we're still getting some rotation. All right, so basically we've got 4 warnings on the board, 1 tornado warning, 3 severe thunderstorm warnings. That's what we're dealing with right now. All right, so they are now extending the warning, but it's not a tornado warning, it's just a severe thunderstorm warning. Okay, so basically the rotation kind of got choked off, it looks like, and that's not what I wanted. Okay. Well, gang, I think I'm going to call it because I'm going to have to go to work pretty soon, for one. And two, it's kind of at a point where I don't feel uber confident, but it does seem like we're taking at least a little bit of a breather. I'm not seeing, signs that we're seeing some wild rotation of some of these storms and everything. So yeah, I think I'm going to call it. I'm going to see if I can maybe shut my eyes for about an hour. And I will be back on the TV side if you guys want some full-on entertainment. Tune in at 4 a.m. and see if the old bald guy is chipper in the morning. Hopefully it will be. Thanks for watching, though, guys. I appreciate you. Yeah, so we got this tornado warning is going to expire in like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It's been extended to a severe thunderstorm warning, and it does include, I don't know why it says, okay, North Vernon there. Thank you, Stacia. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for jumping on. Thanks for making it worth my time. I mean, I would have done it if there was only like 2 people on there, but happy to do it. I do miss sometimes doing severe weather coverage. As a morning guy, we don't get a lot of opportunities. We just don't get very many outbreaks in the morning. So good to kind of just jump on with you guys and do the thing. We'll if I get any info, and I'm sure we will, I'm sure our news crews are going to be heading down toward northern Monroe County and check out the damage there. So probably pretty significant. Hopefully it's just tree damage. Hopefully nobody got hurt. So yeah. All right, gang. Appreciate you guys. See you in the morning, hopefully. Channel 8. And yeah, if you guys have any good pictures or anything like that, send them my way. I'd be happy to share them. All right.